to introduce you to our web series to begin with, Videshi Wisdom. We are Bodhi Bridge. We are based out of Hyderabad. We specialize in unbiased consulting. We are not tied up to a certain limited amount of colleges. We are open to sending you guys anywhere you wish. And we've all done our masters, so we have a good network across the world. I would give a special thanks to Bhargav firstly, because it's not daytime, it's not evening, it's almost midnight for him, and he's taken time. He's worked as hard or harder than you all coming to a civil engineering course. He was a CR and he was my classmate. And 7 years down, we are meeting again. And thank you so much for being here, Bhargav, to begin with. That's exactly why we have Bhargav here. And to make it even better, he's done his civil engineering, he's worked in the civil field, and trust me, he has a lot to share with you guys. And thank you once again, Bhargav. Let's get started. Pratyek, all over to you.
All right, Bhargav. How are you doing today? How's everything at your side?
Everything is great, man. I've just flown yesterday night from Melbourne to Brisbane, and it was too late, so I started my day at 6:30. So I've been working from 6 a.m. and I finished at 5. So it's just a normal day in Australia. So we work from 6 to 5, sometimes 6 to 6. So it's like in a construction field, we do like 12 hours or something.
Oh, it's
Saturday day. Hope you guys had a very good day, man.
Yes. And we're just waiting to connect with you and, have all our students on the same platform. So they're so, looking forward to this, because there's a lot of information which we're going to get from you based off all the experience you've got, being one of our student right from Hyderabad, right from our AP Telangana, being there in Australia, who has made it big. So all of the small tips and tricks that our students need to hear, because this information, is lacking within, where students reach out to consultancies, and the consultancies actually do not know the exact situation of what's going on. So it's always better to get some information from our industry experts, and our students are just waiting to ask a lot of questions to you. But on their behalf, we have framed a few questions, and we'll be, going forward to ask you that. So before we begin, Bhargav, I would just like to understand that why did you choose Australia for your masters, and tell us about your previous experience and what led you to choose Australia for your civil.
Yeah, so right now, as Sarang told, I've graduated from DKR College in civil engineering, so I was his classmate. And after that, like any other student, like many of the students right here, I was also dreaming of getting education from the prestige universities from all over the world. So I was comparing to the other countries, like I've compared USA, Germany, and Australia. So at the time, the homework what I have did, so like looking at the university stats or about the industry and the future prospects of that industry in that country. So I started making out points of like economic wise and the college wise, and and most I like Australia, like the landscapes and everything, the exploring kind of thing in me also led me to choose Australia. And after that, the construction wise, when you look at the wages and the amount of the salaries people get paid here in the construction, also motivated me to look into this country, like if I would have a future or not. So that's how I started my journey to Australia, because I had a bit personal thing of this kind of exploration, this kind of love towards this Australian cultural life. It's just because of my homework which I have done on that day is completely based upon my kind of homework what I did on that day about this country, motivated me to pursue my masters and then get settled in this country.
Okay. Was there someone for you, like, who was helping you or guiding you towards, these are the opportunities that you have for the future. This is your first salary that you're going to get, or is it the complete research you have done by yourself?
So if you ask me if there was someone like me, like 7 years ago for me,
Yeah.
no, there was no one. Like I completely, I literally don't know anyone at that time, like who would be giving me suggestions in futuristic civil engineering life, which I was trying to get, which I was dreaming at that time. So I got an initial support from people through whom I met through Facebook and WhatsApp groups, which I got from the consultants at that time. So I made like a couple of friends who in my university, where I went to University of Technology Sydney in Sydney. So there I made a senior kind of a friend. He's from Mumbai or Gujarat. I completely don't remember him, but he helped me to get some knowledge and information on how I can get into the uni and some kind of stuff, what are paperwork we were looking at that time. So yeah, there was not much helpful, but I got a bit of help regarding in the initial stages of that one. But other than that, I learned everything in a hard way.
Okay. I think the struggles would definitely reap out fruits for you. No problem, man. And that's why you're there and you're happy, smiling, and speaking to us. And really, I really appreciate that you've taken the time out to speak to all of our students, shed that light, and talking about the struggles, which is really important for each and everybody. Everybody has their stories, but eventually the goal is to make it big, right? Okay.
Yes.
Also, Bhargav, please tell us, like, which college, which university that you studied in, what is the course that you've studied, and how was your experience just studying in these universities? Because I hear, because a lot of people say that there is racism here and there. What do they look at Indians in a certain way, right? Do we really have to, act like chamchas to our, sirs, to get those grades, to pass in your grades? So how did you cope up with that?
So coming to first part of the question, so I went to University of Technology Sydney, and at that time I have applied to Western Sydney University of Technology Sydney, and I think I've applied for LATROB in Melbourne. So I was totally biased towards Sydney because I've heard that Sydney is way more vibrant, and it's with a lot of other multicultural things, whereas Melbourne is a bit older city, and I whatever the what do you say, the thing I got back, the feedback I got is like Melbourne is not much of vibrant. So no offense, but I'm a Sydneyite, so I support Sydney here. So I went to that uni, and my course was Masters in Civil Engineering and Masters in Civil Engineering Management. So it was a dual degree course, and so in Western Sydney, when after I got admit from Western Sydney as well, but it was a single degree, it was a Masters in Civil Engineering, and but at the same time I got admitted in University of Technology in UTS, which is a dual master's degree. So I picked it up because I wanted to do dual degree, because when you look at the fees comparison also, it was just a couple of $1,000. So I didn't really think much, and my dad was also insisting me to take up the dual degree one. So I went for the dual degree course and I did it, and it took me some extra semester because I couldn't take the study load, because there was a subject which is literally a graduate subject which made me bit lag in my student life. So I wanted to take things slowly rather than ending up getting failed and ending up in paying more amount to the university. So I just went for a extra semester and I finished it eventually. So, but no regrets. I feel like I did it right, rather than getting failed and paying it in the rupees. When you convert rupees into dollars, it's very painful. So that's why I just took my time and I finished it. And this is my university, how I chose and how it went. So when you're coming to the racism, so racism, I feel like when the experiences I've heard from the people from other countries, I won't mention the name of other countries, and when I compared to Australia, it was pretty minute to say. So it's nothing that this Bollywood movies show a lot of these things. When I feel like more like, as I can tell you, not in a discriminative way, but most of the South Indians, we come from the South Indian, Southern Indian region. So we guys come up with a culture. So irrespective of a religion, South India is like, we come from a culture where like we guys don't go and poke others unless something comes upon us. Even sometimes what happens is we are way more educated than many of the other people who comes from other parts of India. So a classic example of that is not me as a South Indian telling this, but my uni itself when I was in third semester. So they sent an email to all the Indian students saying that if you are from Punjab or Haryana, some kind of northern states, they mentioned some names of northern states, and they asked us to, if you belong to these states, they highlighted in big red bold all those state names, and they asked those students to resubmit their original documents of the degree documents of their bachelors, on what basis they have come there. So this was not any stunt or something pulling on a racism, but that's a kind of thing that they got to some regions in India, because there come lots of fake doing these things, and people who come from there a bit aggressive kind of in nature.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because a lot of Indian students with this situation.
That's there. And if you call it racism, then I don't know, because that's why I gave you the whole backstory. So we can't put a name or we can't label it as a racism, but those kind of things happen. And some people take it as like, yeah, this is correct. Like if you are not doing anything wrong, we can resubmit the degree. But some people go and pull a stint saying that, hey, no, this is wrong. We can't do it. This is kind of racism. Why you're just putting a state name or a country name or asking specific students, and this goes on. So except that, I really didn't come across any of the big, which is concerning about the race or something. But there were like a couple of incidents where when you be a crack, then they get more crackier than you, so crankier than you. So just avoid those things when you are a student. When you're there for your education, do it and just move away. That's it. You're not there for partying or something. When you're doing partying, just do it in your zone. So don't. that's I've seen things happening like where people getting bashed up and anything, but there was a proper reason behind that, where these guys go and provoke someone and then they get what they get deserved there. So it's there. These people are not silent. The Aussies are not silent, and they're not very peace lovers like us. So when you just go and talk some shit, they're gonna just, I'm sorry for my language, but